Welcome to today's book summary. Today we explore one of the most powerful novels of the 20th century, The Plague by Albert Camus. This story is not just about a disease. It is about human nature, suffering, courage, and the constant fight against the forces that try to break us. Let's begin. The Plague is set in the coastal city of Oran in Algeria during the 1940s. The story opens quietly, almost casually, as the residents go about their ordinary routines. Oran is described as a place where people focus mainly on business, routine, and personal comfort, rarely thinking about deeper meaning. This normal life is disrupted when rats begin to appear in the streets and die in large numbers. At first, the citizens dismiss it as a strange event, but soon people start falling sick with a violent, mysterious illness. Dr. Bernard Roos, the main character, is one of the first to recognize that the city is facing something serious. He pushes the authorities to act, but they hesitate. When the deaths rapidly increase, the government has no choice but to close the city gates. Oran is sealed off from the outside world. No one can enter and no one can leave. This sudden isolation creates a deep sense of fear and shock among the population. Families are separated, lovers are kept apart, and the city begins to feel like a prison. In this trapped environment, Camus explores how different people respond to suffering and uncertainty. Dr. Roos throws himself into his work, treating the sick day and night. He does not claim to be a hero. He simply believes that the only way to fight suffering is through honesty, hard work, and solidarity. Another key character is Raymond Rambert, a journalist who came to Oran for a temporary assignment. When the gates close, he desperately tries to escape so he can return to the woman he loves. He even plans illegal ways to flee. But over time, Rambert undergoes a personal transformation. He realizes that true happiness cannot come from abandoning others in their time of need. He chooses to stay and help in the efforts against the plague. Jean Theroux is one of the most philosophical figures in the story. He organizes volunteer sanitary teams and believes that every human being has a moral duty to fight suffering wherever it appears. For him, the plague is not just a physical disease. It symbolizes the constant presence of injustice and cruelty in the world. Another character, Joseph Grand, is a shy and modest clerk. He is not famous or powerful, yet he represents the quiet courage of ordinary people. His small acts of persistence show how even the most unnoticed individuals can contribute to the greater good. Father Panelix, a Jesuit priest, delivers a powerful sermon declaring that the plague is a punishment for sin. But as he witnesses innocent suffering, especially the painful death of a child, he begins to struggle with his own beliefs. His journey shows the conflict between religious explanations and the harsh reality of human pain. As the plague continues, months pass. The city experiences exhaustion, fear, and grief. People who once lived comfortably now face daily uncertainty. Many citizens lose hope, while others discover strength they never knew they had. Camus uses these moments to explore his central idea. Life is unpredictable and often unfair, but people can still choose to act with courage and compassion. Slowly, the plague begins to weaken. The number of deaths starts to fall. The city gates eventually reopen, and Oran celebrates its return to freedom. People reunite with their loved ones, and life gradually returns to normal. But the ending is not entirely joyful. Dr. Roos, who reveals himself as a narrator of the story, explains why he decided to write this account. His purpose is not to glorify heroism, but to bear witness. He wants to remind readers that the plague, whether in the form of disease, cruelty, or suffering, never fully disappears. It can return at any moment. The battle against it is ongoing, and every generation must face it in its own way. Through this narrative, Camus presents a powerful message. Even in a world filled with uncertainty and hardship, human beings can find meaning through solidarity, compassion, and moral responsibility. The plague may represent death, injustice, or any unseen force that threatens humanity, but the response that reveals the deepest truths about who we are. The plague is not simply a story about disease. It is a reflection on life itself. It shows us that suffering can test us, but it can also bring out courage, kindness, and unity. Camus reminds us that while we cannot control everything that happens in the world, we can choose how we respond, and in that choice lies our strength. Thank you for listening to this summary. If you enjoyed it, consider exploring more classic literature and the lessons hidden within their pages.